For some of us with special little people in our lives, we have experienced the heart-crushing pain of watching the children we love be treated poorly by others. It is no secret the hurtful treatment some children suffer at the hands and words of their peers. But what is equally true is the powerful love, healing, and growth that can come by having true friendship. Hello, and welcome to Through a Rosy Window into Wellness. I'm Bev, counseling hypnotherapist, and your host for today's episode on cultivating friendships in childhood. Social loneliness, feeling like one isn't part of a group or doesn't fit in. With more time spent online, budget cuts to schools limiting extracurricular activities, and the increase in non-nuclear families, children are spending more and more time on their own, and loneliness appears to be on the rise. More worrisome still is the correlation between childhood loneliness and academic and behavior problems. Childhood loneliness and mental health issues, as well as loneliness into adulthood. So that covers the bad news. Now to the good news. We can help. In our last episode, we covered some of the ways to initiate and maintain friendships in adulthood. Today, we'll shift the focus onto helping our children. What we want for all children is the development of healthy relationships outside the family. These friendships must involve sharing interests and activities, but also serve as a means of closeness and a safe avenue for self-disclosure. First and foremost, as parents and caregivers, we need to understand the connection between our relationships to our children and their relationships to others. Research has shown that children and youth who have strong and healthy relationships with their parents or primary caregivers have better communication skills and are more goal-oriented. They show a larger number of close and healthy relationships. This remains true into adolescence. In essence, those who have secure attachments to parents or primary caregivers are more likely to have secure attachments in friendships as well. Secure attachment being the healthiest of possible attachment styles, where children know and understand the limits and advantages of relationships, friendships, and otherwise. During that tricky time of adolescence and teenage years, having a good friend has shown to increase feelings of self-worth, serving as a buffer against the stresses of life. Next to modeling and cultivating good relationships between adult and child, explicit practice of social skills is another way in which we can help our children. Topics for training include emotional self-regulation, communication, assertiveness, and empathy. There are a number of social skills training programs available through educational institutions, and some can be found online. Inquiring at your child's local school or searching the internet for some resources are two great places to start. Later in the season, we will dive deeper into communication skills for children, including practice activities that you can use right away. Higher levels of self-esteem has shown to increase motivation to develop friendships and lower anxiety as well. Anxiety works cyclically here, with lowered levels of anxiety helping with friendship skills and having friends helping to lower levels of anxiety. Because we haven't yet touched on the topic in other episodes, we'll cover what it means to be assertive in a healthy way here. Assertiveness training programs for kids work on setting boundaries and teaching children how to say no in a socially and an emotional appropriate manner. It allows children to stand up for themselves in a non-threatening and non-anxiety provoking way. Learning these skills also serves as a means of keeping our children safer in a situation where it may be difficult to assert their boundaries due to authority, age, or a power dynamic. Children who are taught these skills must also be taught when to use them and with whom. Steps include 1. Determining if the request is reasonable. 2. Clarify the request and get any extra information needed to be absolutely clear on what is being asked. 3. If it is decided that the answer to the question will be no, then be clear with your answer. Avoid making excuses, lying, and also avoid apologizing for your refusal. An apology sends a message to both yourself and the person with the request that you actually believe you should be saying yes rather than no. Turning to emotional self-regulation, a couple methods can be applied to helping your child who may need some coaching in that area. One way is to make use of their self-talk. Self-talk is the internal dialogue that we all have. Some of us have it as a constant, and some of us may only take notice of it from time to time. For this exercise, bring your child's awareness to what they're saying to themselves inside their mind. Next, use prompts to guide the child through a social situation. It's best to practice at home several times. First, talking them through it out loud and then having them do it on their own. First aloud, then in their head. The best practice scenarios are the ones we take from real life. Pick an incident that your child feels could have gone better and use that for practice at home. The following steps are known as the social detective steps and are suggested by clinical psychologist Susan H. Spence. Step 1 is to pause when there is an issue detected and explore what is the problem. The next step is to investigate. Perhaps that is where the habit of taking a breath might come in, to calm whatever emotions that might be rising and to have a realistic look at what the choices might be. What are the consequences to each of the alternatives? Ask which one of these choices would be best. The next step is to choose the best alternative and create a plan, remembering social skills, speaking clearly, listening, being empathetic, as well as holding your own boundaries. Help your child recognize how well they've done and give them some feedback. This is how they learn to be good, solid communicators. Another method is to work with children and adolescents to use mindfulness and calming techniques, to work them into their daily routine. Things like guided meditation, breathing exercises, and calming movement techniques like yoga should be part of everyone's routine, no matter what age. The more skills or tools we have for better mental health, to remain calm and present, the better we will perform in all aspects of life, including interacting with others. Although schools are the key environment for building and maintaining friendships, parents and caregivers need to know that encouraging or facilitating social experiences for your child are also important. Find out what their interests are and sign them up for teams or events. As you've been reaching out to other parents or parent groups to build your own village, you're also looking at those parents who can plan activities that involve the whole family. Something that families can enjoy together that puts children together in a low pressure situation, like camping trips or backyard barbecues, are great ways to get families together to have fun. Remember, meeting your child's social needs does not need to cost money. Take time to get to know the children in your neighborhood or in other communities of which you're part of. Many towns have youth centers, church-led organizations, or after-school programs. Check out a new park or an indoor activity center. Start digging and remind your child and yourself that it's never too late to try something new. What's the worst that can happen? You find out it isn't for you, and you simply try something different next time. Once a friendship is established, it is those friendships that are of good quality, meaning a stable relation that has more positive features than negative, that we need to encourage and help our children nurture, especially during those years of transition from elementary to middle school, when having just one solid friendship has shown marked positive outcome. It is interesting to note that during teenage years, quality really does matter over quantity. Research shows that during middle school and into high school, having a larger number of low-quality friends can actually have an adverse effect on academic achievement and even on mental health. This might be a good time to talk to your kids about friends on social media versus friends you meet with and spend time together in person talking face to face. The results are in. Study after study shows the adverse effect of too much time on social media and the power of in-person interactions on mental health. We should all strive for in-person interactions with others as opposed to those that are through a screen. This is especially true for children and adolescents. Quality time with friends and family make for happy, healthier children and teens. Before we end today with the guided meditation, I would like you to know that safety concerns are not lost on me when we're talking about the children in our lives making new friends and trying new activities. I understand that we must use caution and be responsible. It is a big, scary world out there, and our babies are so small and innocent. Be mindful. Build your village, get to know your neighbors, hold your boundaries, and trust your gut if something doesn't feel right. With the bombardment of crimes from all over the world, it certainly doesn't feel like we're more safe now than in years past. But Statistics Canada has reported that crime rates have declined over the past 2 decades. We all have phones in our pockets. We can empower our children to speak up if something doesn't seem right, and to never let anyone convince us that they should keep secrets from you, the parent. Let's teach our children to be respectfully bold, with high self-esteem, as they broaden their horizons and become an important part of the villages of the future.
Please do not play the following if anyone who may be listening is driving or participating in anything that requires their full attention. Perhaps you'd like to close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, let your muscles relax, let your body settle into the chair that you're sitting on, safe and comfortable. Perhaps you can imagine standing on a nice forest trail, noticing the shades of green of the leaves and a nice soft summer breeze blowing through those leaves. As you begin a steady stride, strolling along that path, feel the strength in your legs, arms gently swinging by your sides. Notice a thick, lush green on the forest floor, and spots of blue sky that you can see above. The fragrances of summer. You can feel quite peaceful and calm, safe and content as you move through this forest. Isn't it wonderful that we can choose the paths we take? And isn't it amazing when we choose to have children, when we become part of a family or part of a village, that we can share those paths. We learn from others, and we are also role models for others, teaching our children how to move forward happily, healthfully, safely, taking a deep breath now and then, setting boundaries, knowing that they have the support and the strength and are very capable to make those choices, to maintain good, solid friendships. How wonderful it is that you are such a good role model for your children, demonstrating how to walk down that path, creating strong friendships, lasting, solid relationships. Taking another nice deep breath. And as you open your eyes, I just know that you're going to be looking forward to a wonderful day.